Hey friends, this is Angela from Art of Creation Homestead, and you're in the kitchen with me today, but for a totally different reason. Today we are taking care of our popcorn, and I'm going to show you how to take care of it, and we may even pop a little. So this took much longer than we thought. Now the strawberry, we have grown this many times before. We have grown the strawberry. This is the third year, and it dries out really fast. This was ready a long time ago. This, on the other hand, every time I would test it, the mini blue, every time I would test it, it was not ready. Well, then I started noticing that it was getting very dark in color. As you can see, it's significantly darker in color than it was when we picked it. If you haven't watched that video where we harvested it, we will leave a link in one of these two places, and you can see what it looked like when we harvested it. It was a much paler blue. Well, now it's gotten significantly darker. Now, as you can see, the strawberry gets significantly darker as well, but I was shocked at how much darker this got. And see, listen, you could hear just how hard it's gotten. Listen to that. Gotten so hard. Now this gets hard too, see? But this has gotten so much harder. And so much darker. Now we know it's time to pull them off the cob. So the first thing you'll notice is that all these silks at the end have all dried out. So you want to pull those off and discard them. You don't want that in your popcorn when you're popping it. So you can just take them and pull them off. Literally, because they're so dry, you can just use your fingers and just pull them right off. They will just pull right off. Discard them onto a paper towel or something like that, because you don't want that. As you can see, I have paper bags laid out. You want something, because this is going to bounce everywhere. Literally, you could have popcorn everywhere. Just be careful and don't step on it. It kind of hurts a little bit. Because it is so hard, it kind of hurts a little bit when you step on it. This is a great job if you have some kiddos. This is a really great job to have the kiddos to help you with, is to shell them off. You can even have contests with your kids to see who can shell them off the fastest. I guess that's what it's called. I guess it's called shelling them off the cob. Whatever you do, whatever you want to call it to get it off the cob. But it's some pretty intense work, I should say, because you're working with these little hard kernels, trying to get them off the cob, but it's worth every minute of it. So let me show you what you do. I'll show you first with the strawberry, because that is something that we have dealt with many times before. So let me move my paper bag over here so you can see. Okay, now make sure you have a clean surface. Make sure you have all those little silks off. Now see, these are pointed. I hope you can see that. These have little pointed kernels. So there, you just want to take your fingernail and pull under them, and see, they pop right off, and you just keep going. See, and once you get a rhythm going, they just pop right off like crazy. Pop right off like popcorn. Sorry, bad joke time. And see, you just keep shelling it off, and see, you just keep taking your fingernail and popping them off. See? See that they just pop right off with your fingernail. See, they just pop right off. You can just take your finger, even your finger, once you get started, even your finger, you can just rub them. See? You can just take your thumb. Just take your thumb and just rub it across the cob. And see, it'll just shell right off. See? That easy. It's actually not that bad. Now, sometimes you do have to stop and give your thumbs a break. But see, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty easy. And just like we told you, you get a ton of popcorn off of one cob. You get a ton of popcorn. I mean, these may look like small cobs, and you're thinking, you're not going to get much off that. No. I'm going to show you. This was a smaller cob. I purposefully picked a smaller cob so that I could show you this. And yes, you did just hear it fly across the house. It will fly. You'll have to go find them. But honestly, that's part of the fun of it for me. I actually love doing this. There's something oddly satisfying about it. Okay, we're almost to the end of this cob. And yes, another one just hit the floor. Okay, let me gather up everything that went awry, except for the ones that went on the floor. Those will go in the trash. And that's how much popcorn you got. You got probably nearly 1/4 of a cup off that one very small cob. See, it was a very small one. I purposefully picked a very small one so that I could show you. And you got all of that off one. So can't you imagine what you'll get off one that size? Now I'll take you over here and we'll work on the blue. This will be a little bit different. The blue will be a little bit different because the kernels are not pointed. See, they're not pointed like the others. So they will be a little bit different to show. Now, you will start, once again, with your thumbnail and just start breaking them off. And once you get a good pattern, a good open place going, then you can just start raking them off with your thumb. Just like you did with the strawberry. And yes, they are hitting the floor. And see, now I've got a good open place. And now I can just start popping them off. See? Like popcorn. Here I go again with the bad jokes. I'm sorry. I like corny jokes. Okay. Now, see? I'm just taking my thumb and just pushing them off. See? It's that easy. It's that easy. It is amazing. Now look at all that. Look how pretty that is. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? You can't get that in the store. And look at that. Look at the strawberry. Isn't that gorgeous? Once we get it all done, we'll pop you some and you get to see what it looks like. And trust me, it's amazing stuff. So now I'm gonna get busy doing all of these cobs because what you see here isn't even half of what I've got to do. I've got a lot to do. So now I gotta get started. See you in just a few. This is all the blue. We got way more than I thought we would. How I'm gonna choose to store mine is in a mason jar. Now we are going to fit it with a funnel. That way your popcorn isn't bouncing everywhere. And you want to carefully pour it into your mason jar. Now if you do not have a mason jar or can't find them, which is very common these days, then you can use just a regular Ziploc bag. Then you can pour your popcorn into just a regular Ziploc bag. Okay, you want to be sure and pour very slowly. Rake it into it very slowly because these little hard kernels of popcorn do love to bounce. And they will bounce all over your floor. And as I've told you, it's not pleasant to step on one of these. When you have on no shoes, which I never have on shoes. I'm a hillbilly. It's very unpleasant to step on these with your bare feet. So be very careful. Be extremely careful. And if you see one go on the floor, find it or sweep the floor because you don't want to step on this. I want you to see just how much we got. We got 3/4 of a quart of the blue. This is just the blue. This is not the strawberry. This is just the blue. I am so stinking excited about this. We have never gotten this much before. We have never gotten this much popcorn before. This is absolutely amazing. Now, we got to get shelling the red, and then I'll show you what it looks like. This is how much popcorn we got from all of that we harvested. I've already shown you the blue. Now here's the strawberry. Look at that. Look at that. This is the most popcorn we have ever gotten from our harvest. And we are so excited. Now let us show you what it looks like while we pop some up.
Okay, now here it is. We got some of the red and the blue. The red and the blue is both in there. And we use this whirly pop. Okay. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful popcorn. I mean, you see, it's nothing crazy. It's not red and blue popcorn. It's your basic white popcorn. But this in the middle here is called pericarp. Okay, and none of it's blue. None of it's blue. So I'm not sure which is the red, which is the blue, because we did a half cup of each one. Or I'm sorry, no, we did a quarter cup of each one. And it's honestly, it's delicious popcorn. You can't beat it. Need some salt, but other than that, it's actually good with even without salt. But we just salt it. We can put butter on it, but sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. We're not gonna put butter on it tonight. Just some good salt, and then sit down and finish watching Secretariat. All right, so we got delicious organic popcorn from our backyard. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, my name is Jason. It's Angela Kay. We love you guys. God bless you and goodbye.